got a Sony Digital 8 camera. This is a DCR TRV820. This is one that has a built-in video printer, if you can believe that. I mean, when everybody's cameras were getting smaller, these ones were getting bigger. A video printer, really, on a camcorder? Never seen that before. I don't think we even sold this model because it would have been a high-end model at the time at a much elevated price over the models without the printer. This one's got a problem on playback. Let's check it out. I got what has got to be one of the dumbest video cameras I have ever seen in my life. Like, Sony, what drugs were you on? They're pretty good drugs. You must have been on, your engineers must have been on some pretty good drugs to dream up this crap. Because, well, it's a digital 8 camera. Yeah, that's true. It's a digital 8 camera. But and it uses a memory stick to store you can take still photos at like shitty quality. 4 megabytes is all that this is. 4 megabytes. Like, you can't even put like a tune on here. One MP3 would fill this and not have enough room. It's pathetic. But what makes this camera even more of a joke is the fact that, maybe you guys can already see it. You probably can read it. It has a built-in photo printer, a video printer. You can print your stills on paper that you would never be able to get now because it'll be like a thermal or type of dye transfer, I guess. Where do you put a print cartridge? Oh, it's got a print cartridge in it. No, I doubt that there's any paper in it. How do we eject the print cartridge? Gotta be a way to eject that. Print cartridge, printer paper, print cartridge, print. What do we do here? Oh, there we do that. You have to pull that back so you don't accidentally waste expensive paper. Ah, okay. Print standby. What do? You shove the paper in. Okay, you shove the paper in here, and the paper comes out this side, and this is going to be your dye. I guess this is the dye cartridge. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's actually still got some life left in it. I don't think you'd even get these today. It basically passes the paper back and forth like 3 times or 4 times to do CMYK printing. And it's a thermal transfer, so there's a thermal head that squishes between the paper and this print cartridge, and probably good for like 10 prints. And this thing just goes in here kind of like that, and then it locks down like that, and to eject it you do that, and then you close that up, you see, and then basically you stuff the paper in. It says the print surface, so you put the paper in this way, boom, and you hit print, and it says when printing, insert the printer paper into the paper feeder. Do not insert it into the print dispenser. Doing so may damage your camcorder. So you put your paper in here, and then when you pull this thing back and hit the print button, the paper, it comes out this side, and the print will come out, and that sucks it back in and prints the next color, and it sucks it back in and it prints the next color, and once it's done that 4 times, you have a shitty little print that you can hand to people and say, here, I printed this on my Sony little camera. Well, that joke. I hope, let's just see what happens when I plug this thing in. Is it going to do anything? I'm told it does not have a picture. So let's plug it in, and I got my special cable here that I made up, because, you know, this is a specially wired cable for Sony, because, you know, Sony did things a little different than everybody else. But let's just turn on the camera and see whether I've got a picture first of all from the camera. And the camera produces the picture, and it is in night shot, of course, because, you know, everybody leaves their camera in night shot. Let's see if there's any video out here. So I'm going to plug in this to my monitor, and I can see that indeed I do have a picture from this. So we know that the camera portion works. Let's go to the VTR side, and I don't need to plug that in right now because we have a nice big flip out screen here. But we're gonna load a tape and see what it does. I've got some digital 8 tapes, and I've got some high 8 tapes here. So let's try playing a high 8 tape first, or a regular 8 tape, or whatever I've got here. What do I got? I got my scenery tape somewhere here. I should have. I'll just play a digital 8 tape, I guess. See what happens. Well, that doesn't look very good. That actually looks like shit. Let's look at the picture on the monitor. Everything's strobing. It's playing a partial picture, but it's definitely got issues. Yeah, that's not looking very good. Not looking good at all. I'm going to put an analog tape in and we'll see how it plays analog, because it'll give us a better idea as to what the problem might be. It's not playing. It's looking like crap because there's no picture. Oh yes, it's a wedding I shot, by the way, and it looks like one of the heads is not working, and that's why it looks so rough on digital playback. So let's pop this thing apart and see what the problem is. Is it a bad head? Is it a bad connector? Is it just dirty? Could be a clogged head. But we'll tear into this thing and see what the problem is. This is an ugly camera. It's so big and heavy. Like, I'm telling you, why anybody would buy this camera? It's like, look at the size of this thing. This is not a handy cam. This is almost big enough to put up on your shoulder. And that printer takes up a lot of space. Like, I've got the, I think this is the 820, and I think I got a 740 maybe. It's essentially the same camera minus the useless printer. I just can't see it popping apart with the same ease that the other handy cams popped apart with. Now, I might be wrong. I might be way off base. Maybe the printer's not going to affect my ability to take this thing apart. I don't know. I've never taken one of these apart before. This is the first one of these cameras. In theory, it should just pop apart like any other camera, but we'll just take out all the arrow mark screws and see what happens. This should be a unit that can be unplugged. Say should because I've never had one of these before. This is actually the first one of these ones I've ever seen. And this was this after? Was this after I left the business? Maybe that's why I never saw one. I don't know what year this is, but if it was after 2003, that would explain why I've never seen one, because I left the business in 2003. I see rust. Rust never sleeps. It means that the bottom of the camera has certainly seen moisture. This particular style is not exactly my favorite. At least from an archiving perspective, this is not my favorite design, and that's only because if you want to clean the heads manually, you got to do a full disassembly. Whereas the next generation that came out after this, the bottom feeders, they're easy to get to. You can just pop a little cover off, and you got access to the heads, so you can clean it. This one here, you got to pull the whole camera apart to get at it like that. And then once it's apart, you can't really do much, but I can get in here, I think, with my fingernail and try to clean this head. We'll see whether I can clean the crap off it, if it is in fact a dirty head. They put a piece of, on here they put a piece of tape to hold this in, which means taking it apart is going to be a challenge because I gotta get this tape off here and not break the flex cable. Damn it, Sony. Why did you put that tape on there? Now I can pull that out and pull that tape out of there. The tape is obviously there to stop this from coming unplugged, but if you're not careful and you pull it too hard, you break the you break this, and if you break this, well, that's the power switch. So if you break that, you can't turn the camera on. I'm going to try cleaning the head before going any further. It does have a head cleaning sponge, but we know how well they work, so we'll just try plugging this thing back in. See if we can get this to power up. And no, I'm not plugging this in hot. I've got the power turned off. Now I'll turn the power back on. And we'll start this thing playing. Oops, play. I'm just going to plug my monitor in so that I can see what's going on the TV while I attempt to clean the head. Okay, oops, let me see if I can get in here with my fingernail. Could have just clogged heads, you see, that's what I'm hoping. Oh, I think it's going to be clogged heads. I'll show you guys the screen. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just sticking my finger down here and getting the back side of my nail against the head. So I'll show you the screen as I'm doing it. We'll see if the picture pops in. Well, I can get in here and try to get this clean. Oops, I wasn't supposed to do that. I stalled the head drum. We'll powering it down and powering it up. Fix that. It should reset it. I'm leaving all this in so you guys can see how stubborn this one is to clean. I mean, it is just completely clogged. I take this metal shield out of here. I don't know if I can get it out without pulling the whole camera apart. I just don't have a lot of room to get my finger in there. Will this come out? I don't think it will. I might get myself some more room. I was really badly clogged. That's all it was a clogged head. But that was, like, you saw how long I had to have my finger in there to clear that clog. That was something else. That was pretty badly contaminated. But I'm glad that that's all it is, because and we don't have to take these things apart. We don't necessarily want to. That's a wedding that was shot on EVW300 many years ago. It looked pretty good. Yeah, EVW300 high 8. It looked good. Picture quality. Nice camera when I was using it, but see, analog, everything gone digital. So much better. Alright, let's try playing a digital 8 tape now. It will play properly now for sure. You'll notice how much faster the tape runs to in digital 8 mode as opposed to high 8. There it goes. Yep, looking good. But yeah, that tape moves along pretty good. I think they should have made cameras with a window that you could see. Well, you could, I guess you could see some of the tape with this window, but a big window so you can see the tape moving, because you know, those tapes truck along pretty good in digital 8 mode. The head drum is spinning at 4,500 RPM in digital 8, which is half the speed that Mini DV. Mini DV, the head drum spun at 9,000. Digital 8, it spins at 4,500, and in analog playback mode, it spins at 1,800. I'll show you guys the picture. There it is. Looking pretty good, other than the fact that the color balance is off by a mile. Search forward. I forget where I shot this. It's an aquarium. I don't remember which one it was at. That's better. But it's playing. Now, I don't hear any sound, but I don't know. I don't remember if there was any sound on this specific tape. I'll try another one that I know that there's sound on. This was a dance recital thing that I shot in 2000. Breakdancing. I can't play the music, but I can play the applause and stuff. So there's music here. Yeah. Oh, Herbie Hancock. Well, we'll just rock it, Herbie Hancock. We shot there's 2 cameras. So this one's fixed. See, sometimes it pays to check the most obvious thing before you start tearing this down. I would have loved to have gone through this thing and said, yeah, I gotta reseat all the connectors on it, but sometimes you get lucky and it's just the most obvious. And whether a head cleaning cassette would have cleaned that or not, that's a tough call. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Those heads were pretty badly contaminated. Like, you saw how long I was hitting that with my finger. And I was using a fair bit of pressure because I stalled the head drum out a few times. It was badly clogged. I can't tell you the last time I've seen one that's that bad. Usually you just touch it with your fingernail, right? That's just the back of your fingernail. Remember, you just touch it slightly and they clean up just like that. And this one here, I was actually digging in there and full contact with the heads to try to clear it off in a place where there's no tape, obviously, because I don't want to damage the tape. Sometimes you know you can do it through the tape, but you're going to damage the tape when you do that. So, but yeah, it was. This one was quite badly contaminated. But that's good. That is indication that maybe a tape went through there that was damaged or moldy. Although mold usually won't stick to the heads, the tape will usually tear if it's moldy. I think probably what happened on this is a tape went through that was crunched, and the metal particles were coming off the tape, and they basically just clogged the head completely and got impacted quite heavily on the head gap itself. But that's good. It's another one saved, and the owner of this one will be happy. The owner, the person who owns this one is the same person that had that big Sony reel-to-reel that I worked on there a couple weeks ago. One of my regular customers that brings me stuff, and I appreciate my local regular customers, because now with the Americans removing their de minimis exemption, I doubt that I'm going to be doing much work for mail-in customers from the United States until the administration changes and they make some changes back to the way things were before, so that we can get back to business, because this just hurts American consumers. It doesn't hurt me. Well, it does, because I don't get the work. But if they were fixing stuff, it's hurting them. And I know Trump says, "Oh, we're going to bring jobs back to America." No, you're not. You're not bringing back people servicing this stuff, because those jobs are gone, right? Those people left the business. The same as the shops here. Anybody that ran a shop, the shops are closed, and they're not coming back. You know, as much as people like to think, "Oh, we're going to bring back these TV repair shops and these electronic repair shops." No, you're not, because there's not enough money to be made fixing electronics to pay the bills, right? When you're running a shop, you've got all the overhead. You've got rent, electricity, heat, taxes, insurance. You've got all these costs that have to be paid for, and there's just not enough money servicing this type of stuff to pay those bills. That's why the shops shut down. Most of the guys that were doing it, all the guys that I know that were doing it, they retired or they died. A lot of them are dead now. A good portion. I mean, it's been, 2003, so it's been 22 years. And a lot of the guys were getting up in the age back then. When I was still in the business, I was considered quite young. I left it when I was 40. Did it from the time I was 20, when I got fully certified, and I did it for 20 years. A lot of the guys were considerably older, and a lot of them aren't with us anymore. That's just one of the things that happens when you get old. But nobody's coming back. Nobody's getting back into this business, and I can't blame people, because there's no money. So the only people that are doing it now are people that are maybe working from home, or hobbyists, or tinkering around. But again, there's not enough money to really make. Like, I couldn't live doing this. A couple $100 a month is really all I ever make fixing electronics. It's not a lot of money. I make more from the videos that I make showing you guys how to service this stuff. And even that lately has taken a big hit because there's all kinds of extra fees that are now being extracted, let's say, from what I would have normally got for revenue. Anyway, this one's back together. The owner of this one will be thrilled. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.